Are you tired of looking in the mirror and not being proud of what you see? Every time you try to lose weight, it just gets more confusing and you wish someone could just give you a straightforward answer. Then this video is for you. This used to be me right here. I was overweight, shy, and had like no confidence whatsoever. Fast forward and this is what my body looks like right now. I'm so much more confident and I'm actually happy with the way that I look. If you keep watching, I'm going to share exactly how I did this step by step so you can just copy me and get so much faster results. Step number 1, fixing your mindset. Before we work on our body, we have to work on our mind first. And what I mean specifically with this is working on our self-belief. I don't know about you, but for me personally, before I lost weight, my self-belief was so terrible. I used to daydream like every single day of having a better physique, right? But I used to think to myself like all the time that I never had what it takes. I would be watching these fitness transformation videos on YouTube, where they go from being fat to now being fit, like every single day, just wishing that that could be me instead. And now I know you might be thinking, but why is self-belief even important to begin with? I just want to lose weight and gain some muscle, right? I don't care about that stuff. Let me ask you this. Who is going to get the results faster? The person who believes that they can do it or the person who doesn't? The answer is really simple, right? Now, how exactly do you improve your self-belief? What helped me personally is to develop this why not me mentality. Is there a person out there who's getting in shape as we speak? Of course there is, right? So why not me? Is there a person out there who's eating healthier foods to take care of their body? Why not me? Is there a person out there who's working on their dream body right now as I speak? Why not me? There are so many people out there with nowhere near the same advantages that you have right now, and they still believe in themselves that they can do it. So why not you as well? Once you start getting your brain into this positive way of thinking, on a daily basis over and over, it's so much more powerful than you think. Trust me when I say this. Quick side note, if you want my help on a one-to-one basis with building a stronger mindset, but also getting a body that you actually feel proud of, then just DM me on Instagram. I'll put my username on the screen right here, but also in the description. A person who wants something bad enough in life, they will find a way to get it, no matter what it takes, right? But it all starts with you believing in yourself that you can actually do it. Here's my advice to you. Don't just tell yourself that you will do it. Actually show yourself. Your actions speak so much louder than your words. Step number 2, cleaning up the diet. This right here is the reason why you're not getting the results that you want. And this was the same thing for me when I just started. You keep eating this trash food over and over and over. When I was overweight, I had like no confidence at all, right? And as a way for me to feel comfort, I resorted to video games and junk food like every single day. Whenever I had junk food, right, it was such a big comfort for me, even though deep down I knew that it was terrible for my health. I felt happy when I was eating it, right? But afterwards, I just felt so much worse than I did before. And it turned into this dark cycle over and over and over, of feeling happy and then feeling sad afterwards. Once I started to clean up the diet, that's when I actually started to make some progress, like in this picture right here. In just a matter of days, I already felt better mentally. Now, what do I exactly mean with cleaning up the diet? What I mean is to focus on whole foods as much as possible. Just real food with like no weird ingredients, none of this processed stuff that you keep buying. What I personally eat is like rice, meat, potatoes, fish, and all those things. Just real food with no weird things in them. You have to try your best to avoid processed foods as much as possible. They're very calorie dense, and on top of that, that is even worse. They don't even keep you full for long either, so you tend to overeat them like every single time that you have them. The approach that I did personally is to think about it not like a diet, but just a lifestyle change instead. This is not something that you're going to do temporary and then go back to your old ways, right? Change your life slowly over time with the things that you're actually eating, and it's going to be so much easier to actually stay consistent. I tried so many diets in the past and they all ended up in the same way. I did it consistently for maybe a couple of weeks or, a couple of months, but eventually you go back to your old ways of eating, and guess what's going to happen next? That weight just slowly comes back again. It was once I started to see it as a lifestyle change rather than a diet that I actually started to see some real progress, like this picture right here. Make it enjoyable for yourself and eat the foods that you actually enjoy. There's no need to just eat salads and chicken, broccoli and rice every single day. There are so many ways to prepare the meals that you actually like, so they are tasty but also healthy at the same time. And in general, focus on eating more protein. If you have the option to eat healthy foods and look good for the rest of your life, then why wouldn't you take it? The only way this is actually possible though is by eating the things that you actually enjoy and slowly building up that consistency. Now here's the thing, don't go all in from the start. Remove the bad foods slowly over time and replace them with the good ones that are healthy and tasty for you, because otherwise what's going to happen? You will get overwhelmed and then you're gonna quit. And why I'm telling you this is because this is exactly what happened to me. Something that is really easy to do and actually makes a big difference is to replace the full sugar versions with the sugar-free ones instead. Me personally, I like to drink soda, right? So that's exactly what I did. I replaced the full sugar one with the diet version instead. And this way I have no bad feelings whenever I actually treat myself. Now, I'm not saying that you can never have, junk food and sugar ever again. But what I am saying is when you go longer periods without eating them, the times that you actually do get to eat them, it tastes 10 times better. Trust me when I say this. And once you actually get to eat it, because it's not as often anymore, you don't feel bad about it either. Step number 3, start exercising. Now, improve your mindset and cleaning up the diet. That will give you very good results. But just be honest with yourself here. You want to build some muscle as well, right? The best way to do this is by doing what's called resistance training. And this is basically that you put your muscles under stress in order for them to grow. And how most people do this is by either going to the gym or doing calisthenics, basically bodyweight exercises. I personally go to the gym. It's just a nice environment to be in. You can put some good music on and completely zone in on the workout. And it's something that you can actually look forward to, during the day. Now, depending on your experience, I will recommend you to go minimum 3 days a week. But if that's too much to start with, then just start with 1 day and do that consistently, and then increase it to 2 days and so on. The only time that you increase the days that you work out is when you build some actual consistency. I go about 5 days a week, and that's because I really like going to the gym, but also that's what I've seen the best results from. But however, I didn't start with 5 days a week. I did exactly what I told you earlier. I worked on my consistency. I started with 3 days a week and just slowly worked my way up to 5 days instead of doing it right from the start. Now, as to what exercises to do, I just recommend you to do compound lifts. This is basically exercises that engage multiple muscles at the same time. This is things like bench press, dips, pull-ups, deadlifts, and so on. Now here's the thing, no matter if you decide to go to the gym or do bodyweight exercises, there are 2 very important things that you have to follow. Number 1, focus on good form. Learn the exercises properly before you start adding heavy weights or doing advanced routines. By doing it this way, you prevent so many injuries, but you also build the muscle so much faster because you connect with the muscle that you're actually trying to train. Why I'm telling you this is because this is the mistake that I did. I lifted heavy weight at the start with no good form whatsoever. I was sore for literally days at a time, and on top of all that, my progress was the same for months and months at a time. Once I learned good form, that's when I actually started to see some progress. And slowly over time, increase the weight. Meanwhile, you keep the good form instead of trying to rush the process. Just leave your ego behind and actually humble yourself. Number 2, progressive overload. Now, this is basically just a fancy word for doing more than we did the last workout. If you want to keep making progress, we have to make it harder for ourselves. And how we mostly do this is by either increasing the weight or increasing the reps. I like to keep this so simple by just writing it down in the notes on my phone. First I have the name of the exercise, then I have the sets and the reps, and then I have the weight. The next workout you do 1 more rep on that same exercise that you did last time. And a good rule of thumb that I like to follow, if you can do 12 reps with good form with a specific weight, then you need to go heavier. I like to personally keep myself around 7 to 12 in the rep range. Once I go a heavier weight, I start down at 7 reps and just slowly work my way up to 12 reps again until I go with a heavier weight. Why this is so important is because if we don't track it in any way whatsoever, we have no idea if we're actually making progress. This was the mistake that I did. I didn't track my workouts for months at a time, and I kept thinking to myself, why am I still looking the same? This was the reason why. Step number 4, cardio. I don't know about you, but for me personally, I want to do as little cardio as possible and still lose weight. So I like to keep keep this very simple. What I started doing was focusing on more walking. You know, it's easy to do, it's not stressful on your body, and on top of all that, you actually get good results. The goal that I set for myself was 10,000 steps every single day. And I know you might be thinking, damn, that sounds like a lot right now. But trust me, it's so much easier than you think. You know, just be more aware of it when you're actually outside. If you have the option to take the stairs instead of the escalator or the elevator, and just take the stairs instead, doing small things like this on a daily basis, that makes a really big difference. If you have to do something and it's in walking distance, then don't be lazy and take the car instead. Just walk there instead. Small things like this, trust me when I say this, they add up so much faster than you think. Remember, if you want my help on a one-to-one basis with building better habits, but also getting a body that you actually feel proud of, then just DM me on Instagram. I'll put my username on the screen right here, but also in the description. If you want to see how I will get in shape as fast as possible, completely from scratch, then click and watch this video next.